Hello there, I'm guessing you want some math and chips. Oh, sorry, I said math, I meant myth. They sound quite similar, maths and myths, don't they? You know, maybe I could use number as my theme this week. I could choose two numbers and link them together to mythology. But which ones to choose? Oh, I'm not gonna choose one, because that's too obvious. 9's just too big, we'll be here all week. Can't think of anything for 8. 3 is tempting, but it does scare me if we're gonna have to talk about gorgons and fates and stuff like that. No, thank you. Obviously 2 is boring. 4 and 5, I just can't think of any, so I guess that only leaves 2 numbers. I've said I'll do it, so I'll do it. Today we learn the mythology of 6, 7. I'm gonna tell you a myth about 6, and then I'll tell you a myth about 7, and then we'll move on with our lives. I've got a horrible, horrible feeling that this video is gonna backfire on me.
Myth and chips? Chips? What on earth is this utter nonsense I'm watching?
The Greek mathematician Pythagoras believed that all numbers had a qualitative value, like their kind of maths number value, as well as a qualitative meaning, like symbols that represent things. 6, the hexad, represents balance and harmony and utter perfection. Why? Because 1 add 2 add 3 equals 6. And also, 1 times 2 times 3 equals 6. Sounds perfect to me. But 7 is so much weirder. It's seen as mystical and sacred, fateful and strange. It links to Apollo, whose birthday is celebrated on the 7th of the month, and he also has 7 strings on his lyre.
Hey, who are you calling a liar?
The musical instrument Ganymede. Get with the program, man. Hate that guy. Okay, what about groups of 6s and 7s? Well, the most famous big 6 is of course the original Olympians. Big old Zeus and his brothers and sisters. I'm talking about them, you know, the ones that got chomped. Poseidon, Hades, Demeter, Hestia, and Hera. In fact, the complete Olympian set is just 2 groups of 6. You've got those guys plus a few more. I mean, Hades went down to the underworld, so that made 5. But then we added the extras, you know. Ares, Athena, Artemis, Apollo, Hephaestus, Hermes, Dionysus kind of joins too, so that makes about 13. But then sometimes Hestia leaves to let Dionysus come in, so, you know, we have got 6 original ones, but then in a way you've got like 13 in total, but sometimes it's 12, so I guess you're adding like 6 or 7. Oh no, oh God, get out. Dirty what you just made me do. So how do we make that 13? Yeah, 6 adds 7. I can't even. My neighbour's baby's crying about this. You did that. Thinking of 7s, the most famous 7 is the one I've been yapping on about for several other weeks. We're talking about the Pleiades again, those 7 sisters. I've said enough about them. Instead, I'll tell you about another 7. What about the 7 Against Thebes? These were 7 warriors who set out in the time just before the Trojan War. They set off to the city of Thebes to try and take over, and the 7 warriors attacked the 7 gates. Sadly, 6 of those 7 died. Oh no, not again. 6 of the 7. Oh. So 7 tried and 6 died. Nice. And now we come to the biggest example of all, the true story of Odysseus, except Odysseus is a teacher, and those sirens who are shrieking in his ears are actually students in the year 2025, screaming the words, 6, 7. Behold Odysseus, cleverest of Greeks tied to the mast, not by prophecy, not by fate, but by the ultimate test. A classroom of squawking sirens. And what, you ask, do these mythical creatures sing? Not a haunting melody of doom, oh no, they chant relentlessly, 6, 7, 6, 7. The sailors plug their ears with wax, but Odysseus, tied helplessly, he can't escape. The rhythm pulses in his brain like a Greek horror remix. And his epic strategies? No, they've been undone by a meme. He tries negotiation, he bribes them with gold coins, no effect. Through the ages, we learn a valuable, vital lesson. Some distractions are immortal, including yours, with all your 6-7 tomfoolery and japes.
Wait, I want to speak to Johnny boy. You lovely man who is always complaining about stuff, Dodd. I think you should show sympathy to the children who should the number 6-7 out. Let us pause for a moment and consider the children, these tiny, sad-eyed inheritors of a world that once had playgrounds and adventure, but is now reduced to a desolate wasteland of screen time and mean dopamine drips. These brave little souls, these miniature sirens of the modern age, do not chant 6-7 out of malice. No, they do it as a symptom, a warning, a requiem for the lost joys of childhood. Each repetition a tiny cry of rebellion against a culture that traded tree houses for algorithmic feeds, imagination for scrolling. So go ahead, mock them, tie yourself to your metaphorical mast. But remember, 6-7 is not chaos. It is a sad, lonely whisper into the void. It is a eulogy for innocence. It is the sound of humanity's hopeless, joy-starved scream echoing through the halls, and yes, it is absolutely maddening.
Wow, Ganymede, I never really thought of it like that. So them shouting out 6-7 is more like a plea for help. You were joking, weren't you? Is this a joke?
Yeah, I was only kidding. 6-7 and 6-7 in N.
Okay, I guess it does seem kind of exciting. Maybe I should have a go too. Maybe everyone else is having so much fun shouting out these two numbers into the void. Maybe I should do it too. Maybe this is the way that all good things come to pass, is that ultimately the old people get involved and kill the youth culture. Here we go. I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
Myth and chips? Chips? What on earth is this utter nonsense I'm watching?